Hey everybody, welcome back to my budgeting videos. This is going to be my budgeting video for my July 28th paycheck. Today it is the 30th. So I actually did the budget on the Friday, on the payday, so the 28th, and I just didn't have a chance to film it. So I did sort of like, it's all rough and messy, and I paid the bills and whatnot because some of them I had deadlines coming up, but I just didn't have time to film it until today. But at least I'm filming now. Now, will I upload it today is the bigger question, and who knows, really. So July 28th, I don't know why I wrote it like that, but it's done. I'm committed to it now. Normally I'm writing, paycheck July 28th, budgeted on, and it's a week later. So it's only 2 days. I'm just going to leave it as the 28th, especially since I moved all the money around on that day, so I don't need to worry about it. So the balance in my account was $2,094.29. Now immediately I'm taking out $180. I had $180 cash. Well, I had $200 cash that I kept meaning to put into the bank, and I just kept not going to the bank and depositing it. But I finally did, so bonus points to me, but I had to do it in an ATM versus like an actual human, and the ATM wouldn't take one of my $20 bills, so I deposited $180. I had initially thought like it was going to go as a payment on my credit card, and then I changed my mind and it was going to go as a payment, I think, on my line of credit. And then I was thinking, I have to move soon, so maybe I should be putting it off into a savings account to have money sort of built up for like the expenses of like the moving day, the moving week. It's like moving costs so much money. And then I just sort of left the money sitting in the account because I really didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And then when I was sitting and doing my budget on Friday, I pulled it out of the budget because I didn't want to accidentally use it towards daily life, and figured I'd decide then in the moment. So at the end of the math for this particular paycheck, I will let you know what I did with the 180. But for right now, it's just being pulled out of the equation so that I don't accidentally spend it on something. And I'm actually following through. Wait, let me put cash deposit. I'm actually following through with something that I had said last week. So I had, I just knocked my pen over. I had $109 left in my account from last week's budget, and I'm remembering this time and I'm pulling it out. I'm just sort of calling it leftover. And I want to see also if the money that's left over after budgeting each week that I leave sitting in the account as like a buffer, if I can actually more proactively use it instead of just having it roll over into the next budget and not really making it work for me necessarily. I don't know if it's going to be something I'll be able to do always, but I wanted to try it out this week since it seemed like something that should be done. So once I take out the leftover money from last budgeting and the cash deposit that I put in, I'm actually starting with a balance of $1,805.29. So taking out half my rent, and it hasn't gone out yet, but my car payment is $266.72, and that will auto withdraw on Tuesday. The next thing I'm going to be doing is my line of credit payment. So $232.56. So I'm already down to $913.51, and I've only taken out part of rent and paid 2 bills. It's disturbing. My Neo, I had $4.47 get auto charged onto it. So pay that off. And my cell phone bill came through $95.20. And what am I doing next? My SUV insurance. $67 into that sinking fund. So that's got me at $746.84. And then we're going to go into the rest of the sinking fund. So taking out $40 for my emergency fund. And then $20 for dragon boating. Okay, so I've got $686.84. Let's move over to the next page. I've already forgotten it. $686.84. Presents. I put $20 into presents, which I'm actually going to have to pull out from that sinking fund because I bought some stuff the other day for a friend. And then $40 to go towards traveling. I'm torn on this one, not for putting money in, but if I should be using it in August. I'm doing an overnight trip to Seattle. And normally when I think of my travel fund, I think of it for big trips, you know, like if I'm going overseas, or even this one isn't big, but if I'm going back home, because I do that one so frequently. And flying within the country is for some reason ridiculously expensive. So hopping over one province is like $800. So I usually am building up the travel fund for things like my trip home for Christmas, or I know mom next summer she wants to go to England, so I would go with her, so I'll need money for that, things like that. But I'm doing this trip to Seattle, and I just, it's so expensive just for like overnight. I mean, there's the cost of gas, so thank goodness I have a hybrid, and my friend I'm going with will split that with me, and we're splitting the cost. We're going to a baseball game, so we're splitting the cost. Clearly we're each paying for our own ticket, and then for the hotel that we've got for the night. But once you do the conversion and everything, it's just a ridiculous amount of money for one night in Seattle, but it's done. We're committed. We've bought things. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to pull out at least some money from the travel fund to go towards it. I don't think I'll use all of the travel fund to go towards it, because I do need to make sure I have enough in there for when I'm buying my ticket to go home at Christmas. But I mean, it's there, right? I have the travel fund for a reason, and I need to actually remember to use it, I think. Because that's the problem with my sinking fund sometimes. I kind of forget to use them. Like I buy something for a present for somebody, and then I don't actually pull money out from the present fund to cover it. I just sort of, I'll eat the cost, it's fine. And then afterwards I'm like, I have the present sinking fund. I should use it. Like, I don't know why I don't. I think because I like saving, so then I never want to touch it. But the whole point of having it is to use it. I don't know. I'm a little bit weird. So $15 for my tech sinking fund. $7 for tenant insurance. And then my cash envelopes. So I already did the math on them, so I'll write it out here and then I'll show you the breakdown in a minute. I'm pulling out $384.50. And if you're new, it's not actually pulling it out as cash. I do digital cash envelopes, so it's moving it over onto a prepaid credit card. It's leaving me with $220.34. So I ended up deciding to put $200 to put the BMO MasterCard, which seems stupid because that means I'm only leaving myself $20.34, right? But this is when I need to remember that I have that leftover money and I have that $180 that I put in there. So I'm adding back in the $109 that was the leftover from last budget. So plus 109. So that's leaving me with a safety net of $129.34, which I'm perfectly comfortable with. And honestly, I'm fine with having that leftover money be putting like back into the equation and just continuing its use as like a safety net rollover money for the next paycheck period. I mean, maybe there's going to be times where I can put it to a bill payment or to something like to some other use, but keeping it in, like, you know, adding it back into the budget so that it's sitting in the account so that I'm feeling more comfortable about how much money is sitting in my account in case something unexpectedly withdraws, I'm perfectly content with that. Now, the $180, I forgot. So I have expenses that have to do with my acting, like things that I have to have memberships for in order for casting to be able to even find me, to think of me for auditions. So there's like all these different websites and apps and stuff that you have to have accounts on. So of course you have to pay for them. And I had signed up for all of them at the same time of year last year and didn't make any kind of a note somewhere to remind myself that, like, oh yeah, in a year you're going to have to be like paying this all over again, because of course they're yearly expenses. So they all auto charged to my credit card on the same day. And so I get this notification and I was just like, oh no. So my credit card, which I've been trying to get down because it had gotten a balance I was not happy with, and I was trying to pay it off while also paying off the line of credit, while also paying off the BMO MasterCard that I shunted money over to because I got a super low interest rate for a while, so I thought I could like pay it off faster because there's less interest building on it every month. My credit card got up to like $1,700, no, $1,795.46 to be specific. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, the credit card interest is so high. That's too much. It's too much to be sitting on there. And I mean, it's my fault because I didn't think to create sinking funds to be ready for these expenses, which clearly is now something I'm going to have to figure out. But the damage is done and I can't go and unpay those. Like, I need them, even though acting is all on hold right now because of the strike. Still, it's still like a thing. It's a business expense. So I have decided, and I've already done it, so I feel bad enough about it already, but it's already done. I moved the balance of $1,795.46 to my line of credit, which sucks balls because I've been doing so well at paying off the line of credit, and now all of a sudden I've just added a huge chunk of money to it. But I'm like, I need to get it off the credit card. It doesn't make sense to leave it there when the interest is so much lower on my line of credit. I mean, I could have, I suppose, moved it over to the BMO card because that has an even lower interest rate, but it's just such a habit to like move over to the line of credit. Oh, now I'm mad at myself, but whatever, it's done. So then I moved that over to the line of credit, which I already made a payment on with this budget. If you recall, it's on the first page. I did the $232.56 because that's the minimum payment required, and I pay that every paycheck. So it ends up being either, depending on the month, either 2 or 3 times per month that I pay that total. So I'm well over the minimum amount needed to be paid every month. So I put that $180 also towards the line of credit to help. I mean, yeah, it's not really offsetting much because I moved over $1,795, but it made me feel better. So the idea of putting the $180 into savings to go towards like moving expenses and stuff got wiped out with the idea that I need to put an extra payment onto the line of credit because I just dumped a whole bunch of more debt onto it. So I'm gonna make like a little side sticky note for the actual page, the way I have these ones here, explaining that for like future me when I don't remember what I did. But down here, let's do the cash envelope breakdown. So there's Striker, work, parking, groceries, takeout, miscellaneous, fun, step class, and gas. So Striker, every paycheck, $32.50 goes in. Work parking for this time is $32. Groceries, I gave myself $120. Takeout is $50. Miscellaneous is $50. Fun is $50. Step, I actually didn't put any in because I don't know if you'll remember from last time, we're not currently doing step class because both my friend and I are injured, but I wanted to leave money in there, so I have was like $10 sitting ready to use, so that when we can start doing step class again, I've got the money already saved for it. But I'm not going to keep adding to that particular digital cash envelope because we're not going. I have enough money in there to cover 2 sessions, so I'm good. Like it'll be fine for whenever we do start up again. It'll get me through until whenever the next paycheck is. So all of that totals to the $384.50. So that's how I got that amount. And let's just go here. So these are the budgets for the paychecks from June 30th. I put it in with July because I actually did it on July 2nd, and then July 14th. So it's kind of a 3 paycheck month for me, which is not a bad thing at all. So I'm going to be putting that there. Oh, I just moved you now. I don't know if you're centered. Oh yeah, you're okay. I need a little sticky note. I think probably the bigger one to explain the money. Okay. So Visa 1795.46. Move to line of credit 180. Cash deposit. Put on line of credit. Okay. I probably could have fit that on one of the smaller ones, but oh well. So I'll just put that up there. And I forgot to grab, one second, my thin washi tape. It's not like the color matters. None of the colors match. I don't color match anything. So I don't know why I try to actually pick one that I think will work. There we go. Ooh, a little bit too long. Tuck it over. There we go. And then fold that. And we're good to go. Okay, so that is the budget for this particular paycheck. All the bills are paid. I've actually already paid rent for August. I e-transferred it on the Friday after I was done everything. I've got $129.34 left in the bank account. At the front of the book, let me just find it. I've already gone in, so I already did August rent, and then I added in the additional payments that I made. Since I did them still in July, I'm counting them under the July thing. So all of that's being filled out. I pre-filled out the car payment going out for the RAV4 in August, just because I was there. And then my savings tracker. There we go. Yeah, so I filled it all in. I added in the one for the presents and travel, the emergency fund, debt tracker. I put a comment down here about how I moved money to the line of credit. And then the line of credit, you can see there I'm showing the extra payment. Those are the only like little tracker things that are in this book. So everything has been filled out. Oh, my cell phone, which I guesstimated was on the 15th. I think I guesstimated that from the app. So this is not my fault that I was very, very wrong, but I was very, very wrong. It was due on the 31st. So I just put a little arrow. Yeah, that's it. I'm currently studying to change my driver's license from the normal 5, which is where I live anyways. That's the one that you get for like just driving your regular vehicle, to a 4 so that I can turn my vehicle into a car for Uber to try to get some more income, because I'm still struggling to find any kind of a part-time job. I have a podcast, a true crime podcast with a friend, but we've only got 4 episodes and we've had to take a bit of a break because she's having some medical stuff. So that's not going to be generating any income anytime soon. We'd really hoped that it would, but then we have to be realistic. It takes time to build up to that. It's on Spotify, in case anybody's wondering. It's called The Dark Hour Society, if you're into true crime, keeping in mind we're new, so go gentle on us. But yeah, so I'm trying to get all of that done to become an Uber driver, because then hopefully, I mean, I don't really know how much money people make doing Uber driving. It seems like one of those things where they always talk about, you know, you're your own business person, and the more you drive, the more you make. And maybe if you don't do X number of drives in a week, it's actually not beneficial money wise, because you're spending more like on gas and just like your time versus like what you're actually earning. But I've got to try something. So yeah, this is where I'm sitting at right now. Budget is done. I'm about to set up my August one, but I'm going to do that as a separate video because my videos are always super long. And I need to do a video because I'm setting up for my digital cash envelope tracking for the next pay period. So I will be seeing you in more videos soon. I hope everything is going lovely for all of you. Your budgets are going smooth and well, and you're having an enjoyable summer, and you're not cooking in the heat waves that seem to be all over the planet right now. Yeah, stay safe out there, you guys. I will talk to you later. Bye.